Welcome back to the Dr. G Aspie Show. I'm Dr. G, and my special guest today, Dr. Kelley Bolton. Yay, Dr. Kelley. She's one of the awesome psychologists here at Southeast Psych, and her specialty is Aspergirls. Yep. I'm very excited to have this show today. A lot of people are very interested. And I wanted to have you on to tell us a little bit about what's an Aspie girl.
Great. Well, yeah, you have a lot of questions, and I think there are a lot of people that want more information.
Absolutely.
We can't cover everything, but let's see if we can hit the high points.
Sweet.
So it seems to manifest in some 4 key ways that might be a little different than what you'd see in boys. Right. Their interests seem to be a little bit more in line with what we see with other typically developing girls. Books, theater, animals, that kind of thing. Horses, right. That's a big one for sure. They tend to be a little bit more shy, a little bit more reserved, especially in the younger years. You might even hear them say, I feel kind of invisible, or right. I felt invisible.
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah. Another one is that the differences that we see among Aspergirls in comparison to their typically developing counterparts seem to really become more noticeable towards those later elementary years and middle school years. Right. So we're not necessarily identifying or as easily identifying earlier on.
The social world gets more complicated.
The social world gets more complicated, and that's when we start to really see it for girls. The 4th thing, and I think one of the things that's very, very interesting about girls, but can also be a real challenge, is that they tend to be very keen observers.
I see that.
And I emphasize observers of the social world, of social dynamics and interactions. But when they have to go engage socially, that's when they really tend to struggle. Right. There's a lot that they have to navigate at one time, and it can be really challenging and overwhelming.
Yeah, I see that a lot. That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
So in your practice, how do you support Aspergirls and their families?
Yeah. Well, I support them through a couple of different ways. Individual therapy, primarily, and with that, a lot of parent support comes along. And then through camps and groups that we run throughout the school year and through the summer. With parents, I really try to emphasize this idea of not assuming that their daughter knows what to do or feels comfortable in a social situation. It kind of goes back to that idea of they're shy, they may be a keen observer, but don't necessarily know what to do. So don't assume that. Practice with them, give them a heads up of what to expect.
Like role play.
Yep, role play, do things like that. Another thing is support her passions and help her figure out what some of those passions are. The thing that she really could just spend hours and hours on end doing now as a hobby could be a career later.
Absolutely. Ask Dr. Temple Grandin.
That's right. So support those passions. Another thing is just monitor for distress.
Yes.
Girls, Aspergirls particularly, tend to internalize their feelings a little bit more. And you might start to see over time things like changes in sleeping or eating patterns. They may withdraw a little bit more than what you would typically see for them. So monitor for some of those subtle signs for distress. They may need a little extra support. And then the 4th and final thing, and this is really key for parents, is to really focus on their own self-care.
Right.
And I use this illustration. It's like being on an airplane where you need to put that mask on yourself before you can really be effective to help the person next to you. It's the same thing in parenting. You got to make sure you're monitoring your own stress, your own feelings about what gets evoked when you're with your child, to be able to actually be the support for her that she really needs you to be.
That's great. That's sweet. I see why all my clients love you.
Oh,
that's fantastic. And you run a lot of social skills groups, you do individual parenting, all kinds of stuff.
I do all of that.
I love your camps.
Thank you.
Cooking and growing stuff.
Yeah,
fantastic.
I really try to put a lot of emphasis on enrichment, really shoring up those strengths so that they can actually face the challenges that lie ahead. And I'm actually pretty excited this fall. I'm getting ready to open up a group for young adult women and females with Asperger's as well. That's a huge need.
Speaking of adults with Asperger's,
Yes.
This is a fantastic book. Aspergirls Empowering Females with Asperger's Syndrome by Rudy Simone. I believe she's out in San Francisco or West Coast. Highly recommend this book.
Yeah, this is really quality.
You like this? Yeah, I do too. It's fantastic. And Dr. Bolton, I really appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you.
And as a parting gift, I give all my special guests a little gift.
Yes, I've seen this on your show.
You get a very expensive yellowish water holder.
Do you know, I'm getting ready to, I guess, train for like my first 5K.
That's great. You could use that.
This is going to come in handy. This is the best gift I've been given
all
year.
Because I gave it to you. Shoot.
Dr. G's awesome.
Nice. Everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Dr. G's Aspie Show. You can learn more about Dr. Bolton online at www.southeastpsych.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Dr. F. Gaskill. Thanks again for tuning in, where Asperger's is awesome.
Awesome.